What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Chaotic One, and I am back with another reaction. Now, today's reaction, I'm gonna be reacting to a couple videos, but the topic of today's video is the dark side of the music industry. You know, I feel like it's only right that I drop jewels and try to enlighten the next artist that's coming up in the music industry. You know, because a lot of you guys are naive to what's really going on out here, and y'all think that it's glitz, glam, and you're gonna make all this money and do all this other stuff. And I'm not here to kill anybody's dream. I just want you to be more aware of this music industry and how dirty it is. So today I am going to be reacting to a couple of videos that I came across online. The first one is from The Truth Is Network, and shout out to them. I got a couple of clips that I want to play that's going to kind of explain how dirty this music industry is. So let's get right into it, man. Without further ado, the dark side of the music industry. Let's go.
Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the music industry's sinister secrets. For many inspiring artists, getting their door of the music industry is probably one of the most hardest things to accomplish. Just about all upcoming artists dream about getting signed to a record label, becoming superstars, and making millions of dollars. Upcoming artists spend years of their lives working on their music, hoping that one day they can get signed to a record label. For the lucky few who happen to get that record deal, it doesn't take long for them to realize it wasn't all what they expected. The music industry isn't at all.
And just for the record, yes, I was an artist that really, you know, wanted to be in the limelight bad. I done had several major deals on the table after the fact of me learning the industry, and I didn't accept them.
At all what it appears. From the outside looking in, the music industry appears almost as this fantasy life that very few get to live. Riches, fame, and power are all associated with making it in the music industry. What most people don't know, it's that it's all a facade. Most artists sign terrible deals and usually don't make nearly as much money as they would have the world believe. The reason...
Exactly. That's one of the first things that I learned, was that it's a facade.
Most artists act rich is because it's a part of the image that needs to be sold to fans. Just one of the manipulation tactics used by the music industry to sell a lifestyle. The music business is not about music, but about making money off of music. Most people that are in the industry are in it for money and are willing to do just about anything for it. This is why we see time and time again artists getting taken advantage of, being signed to devious record deals that put only 8% of their royalties into their pockets, while the labels keep the other 92% for themselves. For every
you heard that right? The labels keep 92% of your royalties, and you only get 8%. You know, that's funny. I had offered an artist a deal, and it was an independent deal, and I was going to do a split with him, which was actually a 50% split, and he swore up and down I was robbing him. But let's continue.
Most artists make, the artist gets to keep 8 cents of it, while the label keeps the other 92 cents for themselves. For most artists, just being offered a record deal is a dream come true, so they would sign anything a record label would offer. This is exactly what the record label was expecting and taking advantage of. What most people don't realize is when an artist is being offered a record deal, it's because the record label saw profitability in that artist. They know soon that that artist will be making a lot of money, and they want a piece of that. Well, they want most of that. Don't get me wrong, the labels do help the artist see success much faster, but at what cost? The music business is set up so that the music executives who prefer to stay behind the scenes make most of the money made by the music, while the artists only get the crumbs. If you want a full break...
Now, that was the first thing that I learned. Like when I left, because I started doing music in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I got bigger than the city. And, you know, I did pretty much everything that I could in the city. So I wanted to get bigger. So the next thing that I did was leave the state, and I went to Atlanta. That was the first thing that I learned when I got to Atlanta and really started meeting real people in the industry, was that you don't make money as an artist. Is the money that is really to be made is behind the scenes. That's the first thing that I learned that was a reality check.
breakdown on how record deals work, you might want to check out my video on the truth about record labels. I actually spoke to an entertainment lawyer recently who worked with some big names in the industry. The lawyer basically told me that my record label video is pretty accurate, but he insisted that most deals nowadays are signed at around 12% for the artist. I don't believe an artist only making 12% of the money their music makes is fair, especially since it's their talent and hard work that is making all of that money. In most,
And a lot of labels feel like, oh, I got all the money, you got the talent, but your talent won't take you nowhere. This money will take you through doors. And that's why the system has been set up the way it has been for eternity.
Cases, when an artist signs a deal and gets that advance check, that is the last check that they'll ever see from the record label. As that signing advance, the label...
I heard that. That's the last check you usually will see from the label, not unless you're making big money. But let's continue.
Gives the artist, puts them in debt with the label, and assures that unless the artist sells millions of copies, they won't ever be able to repay them. In most cases, the record labels stay with full ownership of the artist's royalties even after they pass. For example, we spoke about PNB Rock passing, and I noticed that many...
Rest in peace, PNB Rock.
People were spreading misinformation online when it came to PNB Rock's ownership of his catalog. People on TikTok and Instagram were saying that PNB Rock owned all of his masters when he passed and that his family was going to make the money off of all those streams.
Which is not true.
Sadly, this isn't true. I wish it was, but it's not. Most of all of PNB Rock's catalog, especially his early hits, unfortunately belong to Atlantic Records. Yeah. Even though PNB...
See, he was under a major deal before he left the earth. So that's who ended up owning a bulk of his music.
Rock was dropped by Atlantic, the ownership of all the songs PNB recorded while being signed to Atlantic. Only the music that PNB Rock created after he was independent, which wasn't much, is what his family is going to be receiving the royalties for. PNB Rock also talked about his unfair deal on Academics' podcast.
Why are you independent?
Pretty much because I wasn't making money like off my music like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the deal that I had was just like a beginner's deal, you know what I'm saying? And when we was trying to renegotiate, it was like I was on my last 2 albums. It was like we was at a stalemate. I was getting a little money. I ain't gonna say they wasn't giving me no money, but like the money that I was generating, you know what I'm saying? The way they was kicking it to me, I was like not doing enough. But when I started looking at the numbers and all of that, and the money that you can generate off these type of numbers, I'm like, hold up. Like, yeah, I'm really out here putting up big.
They always gonna run game on you to make you they're gonna make you think that you're doing worse than what you actually are number wise. What they really do, from what I've seen, they look for the most naive of naive artists to run their game on. But let's continue.
Big numbers. Yeah. So once I started figuring that out and I started getting a little smarter, it was probably like 2020. I started digging into it. And it was just like, all right, man, we gonna come to this mutual agreement because we definitely understand how you feel. But it's generating all this money, but how am I still not recouping it? Figured out the type of deal that I was in. It was like, damn, so I'm thinking
some deals are pretty much on recoup. Like
you ain't gonna be able to recoup if you had a 15% recoup rate.
Yeah, if you had a 15% royalty rate, like it's gonna take a while.
Everything get taken out of your 15%.
You see how that works out. You know what I mean? Like you almost are going to always get a shitty end of the deal. You know what I mean? And that's just the way that this industry has been set up. I mean, it's been set up from back in the Stone Ages all the way up until now is for the label to win. And that's the first time, like I said, when I moved away and I started really learning more knowledge about this music industry, that's when I really learned that, hey, the real money is behind the scenes. The real money is not the artist. You know what I mean? I always wanted to be the artist. I always wanted to be that guy, you know, to have the popularity and everything like that. And then when I moved away and moved to Atlanta and I started really dealing with real industry people who can move and shake and taught me so much, that's when I really learned that the industry is phony. You know what I mean? And the people behind the scenes is the ones that make the money, not the artists. But this next video that I'm going to share, shout out to Mav Hoffa, is about another dark side to the music industry. Now, I gave you in the first clip, I tried to show you guys how they be robbing people. Now I want to give you guys the weird side of the music industry that they want you to be involved in. And like I said, shout out to Mav Hoffa for the footage, you know what I mean? But I wanted to also show you guys the dark side of the music industry. Let's do it.
So what I'm saying is I know how to beat blood out of rock, right? So a nigga can't tell me he gonna give me $100 million to play with my butt. Cause I'm gonna go, 1, I'm not a homosexual. 2, I'm never selling my soul. 3, I don't care if it's $100 billion. I'm gonna get it on my personal. Right. Listen,
I'm gonna get it on my own.
Let me get to the point, bro.
Right.
So I'm gonna get it on my own. A lot of these artists don't be real niggas. That shit you see on the record or whatever they making, they not really solid. They not thorough. They never sold on drugs. They got mommy and daddy at home. They never even been through shit. So when they get proposition and they see a car, they go, they don't know, don't drink after a nigga. They don't know a nigga going. And then what happened?
They don't know the
now look,
that
I'm gonna tell you,
right.
look, I'm gonna tell you straight, because I ain't really trying to put niggas out there, right? But a nigga in the studio, we from the hood.
He finna drop a jewel on y'all. I want y'all to really pay attention to what he about to say of how this music industry, I'm showing you the other side, the other dark side of the music industry. And you see, he said something about playing in butts and different stuff like that, man. It's a lot of weird stuff going on, man. Are y'all sure y'all really want to make it in this music industry? Let's continue.
I used to stick niggas up, bro. Babyface, I used to book niggas. So I'm always on point, bro.
Facts.
I'm on point right now, my nigga.
Facts.
Always on my square. But a nigga that's a square, he don't know.
Yeah.
So he don't know watch your drink. He don't know. So now he drink behind a nigga. He get drugged. They rape this nigga. They rape this nigga. Videotape it. Then when he in the meeting, they give him a shitty contract. They play the video of him getting fucked by like 3 niggas. He ain't never been through shit like that. So he like, man, what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna sign. And you gonna give me money? So
hey, y'all hear that, right? And a lot of people say this. This ain't the first. I'm just using this clip just to show you how it goes. But a lot of artists go through this dark side.
rather than get that story put out, he gonna sign that bad contract, which is the 360 deal. He gonna take that advance, which is recuperable anyway. So they gonna give him the money just to take back and own the rights to his shit.
I'm sitting here with 5 niggas that got the same look like I killed 9 niggas.
Yo,
I give you 5 I'm over here with 5 niggas right here. Everybody is like this. Tell me who that
the game
was.
is ugly, bro. But listen what I'm saying. Hold on. Listen, the game is, listen, bro.
Who was it?
Listen, the game.
Don't ask them questions. We don't want to.
But they're trying to get him to tell who it is, but he ain't gonna do it.
No.
Listen, the game. The point is this.
So I can go, you.
Yo, Mav is greedy.
You.
That's why. See,
You did that?
But we not. It's funny, but it's not funny because there's a kid right now that's watching this that I'm trying to tell a story.
He got a video with his ass.
You gotta be careful.
No, he could. You gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful.
So he could avoid this shark infested waters.
Or he could do.
Now, see, that's what happened for me when I got to Atlanta and I started learning. And I don't mean to keep bringing up the Atlanta movement, but when I got there, I learned so much about the industry and some of the things that you had to do and what were you willing to do to make it. You know what I mean? Like Diddy making a band, all these crazy situations to where they showing you some of the things that you have to do to make it in the music industry. And I just wasn't a person that was willing to sell his soul. I didn't feel like I needed to do anything to make it in the music business. So that's why I chose on what I chose. I just wanted to drop this jewel on y'all today to tell you that there is a dark side to the music industry. You know, I watched Nori do an interview one time. And if you don't know who Nori is, he's the host of the Drink Champs. And I watched him do an interview and he said that there's 3 doors that you walk in. He said there's 3 doors that you can make it in to once you get to a certain level. He said one door is what would be considered like the Illuminati, or allegedly the gay side. You know, what would you do as far as on that side of things? He said that's one door. Then he said that there's another door, the independent door. Hey, you walk through this door, you make it on your own, do your own thing, wish you the best. And then he said there's another door, the third door, which is almost like the sacrifice door. And it's like, who are you going to take out? Family members or whatever the case may be. And he said that he chose to walk through the neutral door. And he said after he walked through the neutral door, he never went platinum again. He never, did big fame or anything. Because I guess that, they was at a point of trying to see where exactly he would go and what he was willing to do. And he wasn't willing to do that. But I just wanted to react to those two videos right there and tell you that there is a dark side to this music industry. And if you would like for me to get a little bit more in depth in it, please leave it in the comment section. And before you get up out of here, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for all the videos so you can get all the alerts of when I drop new videos. I go by the name of Chaotic One, and this is a reaction to the dark side of the music industry. And I'm up out of here. Peace.